Hey guys, welcome back. So I've been using guitar wirelesses since the late 80s, back when they were VHF and then they moved into UHF and in more recent years into the digital realm. Now I've pretty much had them all, and the one thing that I've noticed over the years is they've started to become not only more, I guess, accurate in terms of sound reproduction, but they're more reliable. They become more compact and they're more affordable. So it's come to the point where it surprises me today that most people aren't using guitar wirelesses. But anyway, a couple of weeks ago, Grace from Swiff Audio contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in checking out their new 5.8 gigahertz wireless. And now I responded to her and said, look, I don't typically do guitar reviews on gear that I don't personally use. I said, I'm happy to try it out. If I like it, I'll promote the video and, that's all good and well. If I don't like it, I'm just going to send the unit back to you, and there's no further expectation. So here we are. I've got the package here. I haven't opened it yet. I figured we'll check it out together, and I'll do some tests on it, and then we'll see just how it goes. So let's open this thing. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like, but I guess we'll find out together. So let's just pull the cellophane here. Okie dokie. Here we go, the big reveal. Ooh, okay. So it looks like we've got a little booklet on the top here. What do we have? Okay, so we've got the user manual. It's actually unusual that you get a user manual these days. Normally it's just a QR link, but it's actually a really well printed manual. I'm not sure if you can pick up on the camera there, but it's a really good quality little booklet. It's got all the instructions there, so you can check that out. And then there's one in different languages. So this one's in English and this one is other languages. So that's handy to have. Oops. Okay, now here's the actual wireless itself. So this is kind of cool. Looks like it's in a little magnetic case here. So if I open that, yeah. Wow, okay. Now these are kind of cool. Just my first impression is that they're actually quite a compact, discrete little unit. And it looks like they're on a 90-degree swivel here. So they can actually be positioned into the guitar. The actual tip ring and sleeve is, so the tip and the sleeve is like a gold plated material. So you would hope that that's a fairly high quality component there. And let's see, if we press on the backs here, and that looks how we turn them on. So that's the wirelesses themselves. That's pretty cool. Let's just pop those there for a minute. And what else do we have here? And we've got another little box here with, looks like a, I don't know whether it's a cable or a lanyard or something. Ah, here we go. It's like a little clip-on lanyard so that you can connect it to the case and have that attached to your guitar case or your gig bag, whatever, so that you've always got it with you. So, as with most electrical rechargeable units, you should charge them up fully before you use them. So what I'm going to do is charge them for their recommended duration, which I believe is 2 hours for these wirelesses. And then we'll come back, we'll plug it into the Boss GX1 and we'll run a few tests and we'll see how it goes. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. And we're back. So these took about 2 hours to fully charge, and they have little LEDs just above the USB port there that represent how much charge they have. So when all 4 LEDs are lit, then it's 100% charged. I didn't mention before, but in the box was also this Y cable, which is USB-A to USB-C, so you can plug that in and charge both at the same time. So to power the wirelesses on, basically you just press the tops of the wirelesses for 2 seconds and you'll see that they will light up, and when they're paired they will both be lit green. So you know that they're now ready to go. To power them down, you hold for 7 seconds. Now 7 seconds is great because it means that you are less likely to accidentally turn them off by leaning on the wireless, or pressing it accidentally, and the last thing you want is your guitar turning off while you're playing live. So that's a great little feature. Another thing is you probably can't see, but there's a little sort of raised icon on the side of each of them that represents which unit they go to. So this one has a little raised icon of an amplifier. So obviously that one will connect into the GX1 here. So I'm just going to turn them both on. So we'll put that one into the input of the GX1. And this other one has a little raised icon of a guitar. So obviously that goes to our guitar. And of course you can bend it 90 degrees if you want to get it out of the way. For me, it just doesn't really bother me. So now I've decided to use this guitar to test the wireless, because a lot of the new digital wirelesses just don't work with active pickups. So this guitar has a passive pickup in the bridge and an active pickup in the neck. So I'll be able to then test to make sure that it works equally across both pickups. So let's first of all discuss what you should look for when you're looking for an actual wireless. Now there's 3 things that I would essentially be looking for when I'm looking at whether a wireless is going to suit my needs. The first is going to be audio quality. So obviously you want a decent representation of your sound. You don't want the sound being changed by the wireless. And in the past I've used wirelesses that have degraded the signal, or make the signal clip or distort when it's actually hitting the amplifier, which is definitely not what you want. And the quality of the audio has basically improved over the years greatly, to the point where, to be honest, I can't tell the difference between a wireless, or a good wireless, and a guitar cable. There's plenty of players I know that will swear black and blue that they can tell the difference between a cable and a wireless. And I'm telling you now, when you're playing live in a band, there's no way that you would be able to tell. Anyway, your mileage will vary, but for me, I will quite happily play with a wireless, because I don't hear the difference when I'm playing live. Maybe in an isolated environment, that might be so, but anyway, I digress. So that's the first thing. Audio quality is paramount. You want your signal to retain its integrity, basically, when you're playing live. Second is latency. Now, latency is when you play a note, how long it takes for the signal from the wireless to get to the other end, to your amplifier or to your pedal board. Now, obviously, significant latency you're an unnatural feel when you're actually playing, and it can kind of be a bit disconcerting, and it's not a great thing if your playing is affected by the latency that you're feeling. Now, the great thing with these 5.8 gigahertz wirelesses is they're very low latency. So the Swiff Audio 5.8 gigahertz is said to have a latency of around about 5.5 milliseconds, which is super low. Like, you won't notice that. Certainly no different to, again, running a cable or plugging into, say, a DAW and recording with. You're not going to notice that 5.5 milliseconds. So it's an amazingly fast wireless. And so that's the second thing I'm normally looking at. And the third thing I would typically look at is how much range I get out of the wireless, which is how far I can move on stage before the sound starts to drop out. Now, I've used wirelesses where I may be on a riser at the back of the stage, and I've come to the front of the stage to do a solo, and my sound starts dropping out. And it's pretty embarrassing when you're trying to rip a solo and your sound is going bit, 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 bit. So definitely range is also paramount as the audio quality. So we're going to test that today. I'm going to sort of wander out a bit and see how far I can get. It's kind of difficult where I live because it's not really line of sight, and a lot of the wirelesses, the range is reported as line of sight, which means from me, and if I walk in a straight line and the wireless has no interference in between, that's the range. And the Swiff audio reports up to 70 meters of range, which is phenomenal. You're unlikely to ever be playing a stage bigger than 70 meters. So that's more than ample. So with that being said, let's fire it up. I'm going to record the audio directly into my Cubase Pro, and we'll get a sense of how it sounds. And yeah, let's get into it. So here we go. So I'm going to first test the bridge pickup. So here we go. Okay, so that's just a dirty sound. Now, let's flick it to the active pickup, and let's, this will be the big test. See if I get any horrible interference or noise. Here we go. Wow. Wow, I'm really happy about that. I can't tell you how much I was worried about whether that was actually going to be a problem or not, because so many times I've bought wireless units and I flick it onto the neck and it's like, no, I can't use this. So most of my guitars have an active pickup as well as a passive pickup, so that's a problem. In this case, no problem at all. So that passes that test. So I'm going to play through a clean sound, and let's just get a sense of if we're getting any sort of breakup or anything, or any unnatural tone. It's actually pretty impressive. That's super clean. Like there's absolutely no discernible artifacts or anything in that whatsoever. Wow, that is really cool. Okay, let's go back to an overdriven tone and Well, look, that's pretty cool. Like, it's crystal clear, no latency. I'm not feeling any perceivable latency whatsoever. So I can play completely naturally without it being a problem. So really the last test is to go for a bit of a wander around and yeah, see how far I can get. I might just get a guitar strap here. In fact, let's just put this one on because it's already got a guitar strap on it, and just gonna unplug there. We'll get this one going. Cool. All right, let's go for a little bit of a wander, and I'll end up putting up on screen how far I am roughly from the GX1, and yeah, let's go from there. All right. Oh. Okay, so I got to about probably over 30 meters away, and I couldn't actually hear whether it was coming through or not. So I guess I can look at the audio waveform here and see whether it came through. So just looking at the waveform really quickly, 30 meters away. So 30 meters is actually quite a distance. Like, I was further now than probably what I would ever have been on stage. So typically if I'm playing a big stage and I went from the back to the front of the stage, or from one side of the stage to the other, that's not going to be 30 meters. So I think the Swiff audio is a big win for me. I will definitely be using it at my next gig, and I will report back if there's any pros or cons that I have in the meantime. But I would definitely recommend, just based on what I've witnessed here today, it's definitely worth checking out. For the price of these things, it really is a no-brainer. Like, honestly, these just give you so much more freedom on stage, not being tethered to a guitar cable, and they're just so easy to use. They're compact, they charge up really fast. You get about 4 hours of use time out of these, so you'll get through a whole gig using these wirelesses. Really, what's not to love? So yeah, I really hope you do check them out. I'm really excited to check them out at the next gig that I play. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.